Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we're started. Okay. Let's see. Arlen didn't get out of his cage, his cell on his own. One of the Jade guards came back and opened it up for him. After doing the smart thing and ordering him to get back from the doors. Door or doors? Most cells only have one door. He didn't have much smarts besides that. He seemed to run out smarts after that, letting Arlen step out of the cell and get within grabbing distance of the guard, who was wielding an SMG with an extended E1. With an extended 50-round mag. The usual mag just had 30, which was standard for most MGs. In Ireland's experience, the Jade Guard kept an eye on the area. He looked a little out of his head with fright. What is this? Oh, it's the guard. You've become my prisoner. In particular, the guard replied. Also, in English. Guard, in English. It's kind of a weird thing in stories where you see someone randomly switch languages, even when they have no reason to. You know, it's like people can't stand subtitles. Well, I guess I would follow the will of the people. If the people said no subtitles, have everyone speak in English, then, well, that's what I would do. If I was in charge of all TV. But people can tolerate subtitles, you know. It makes it more realistic to have everybody speaking their proper language. Russian speaking Russian, German speaking German, Japanese speaking Japanese. I think on that Man in the High Castle show, the Japanese speak English, but don't the Germans speak a lot of German in there? I don't know. That seems weird to me. I'll have to check. I'm watching that show. Kind of got sidetracked by other shows, you know. You know how it is. Yeah. There's only so many, you only got so much time in a day to watch TV shows. And most people only have like 2 or 3 hours a day to watch shows at best. 2 hours, maybe. Like if they get home at 5, they gotta do all chores. Then maybe 10 or 11, they get to watch a show. Hopefully it's a good show. I don't want people to waste their precious time on bad TV. Let's see what possible in English. I'm gonna use you to get out of this HQ alive. So the guards are just gonna... So the guerrillas... How so? Alan asked. Well... I'll take you prisoner. I'll force those guards... There. The guard looked confused. Confused? As though he wasn't sure how a prisoner was going to get him out of here alive. I'll tell them. I'll kill you if they don't back off. The guard replied after a minute. About a minute. Minutes of thinking, pondering. They probably came here to rescue me. Mel replied, I doubt they'll want to spare you. I doubt they'll want to spare. Just turn tail and run. I'm probably marked for death. Marked for death by your superiors. You're gonna get a belly full of lead. You don't keep quiet now. Guard warned. I need to think about what I'm going to say. Your skill with English is quite good. Arlen complimented. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Replied quickly. There was a lot of shooting. And there was a lot of shooting upstairs. Less so explosions from grenades. Grenades or demolitions. Less so from grenades. Sounded like there was some MG was rattling off a lot of shots somewhere on the second floor. Though in the dungeon, somewhere off in the dungeon, Alan could still hear the crack of the whip against Helga Grabby's backside and her screams, which were briefer and weaker than they had been earlier. The woman was probably getting close, blacking out from the pain. The interrogation had not stopped in the torture session. Session had not stopped in the slightest since the attack started, and the interrogator what's the interrogator's name? Phaeton. Yeah, I forgot. For some reason I didn't put in my notes. Sorry about that. He's a minor character anyway. Not gonna survive the chapter, so. Here. I could imagine the interrogator, Phaeton. What was his rank? Could imagine the interrogator, Phaeton, cracking that whip defiantly right till guerrillas were upon him. SM guns drawn. He would probably force them to shoot him down. Arlen planned on getting there before any guerrillas. What about Telga, Grabby? Arlen asked the guard. Perhaps you should take her prisoner. Too. Double the prisoners. Double the odds of survival. I could practically see the wheels turning in the head of the guard. Arlen never thought of himself as a master manipulation. But clearly, he had gotten into the head of this panicked, desperate guard. Who wasn't thinking clearly. Yes. The guard agreed. Put the boss down here. He wouldn't like that. Once again, folks, for me, sometimes it helps to picture the bad guys as orcs from Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Guard look. I have to go back and describe what this guard looks like a little bit. Probably not an orc-looking guy. Although he does have yellow eyes. That's a trademark of the Jade. There's some yellow eyes, gray skin, various shades. They're not as varied looking as the orcs from Lord of the Rings, I guess, but you know, they look different from most. They look different from every other race of people on this version of Earth, I guess. Boss down here, he wouldn't like that. Fuck the boss. Island suggested. It's a matter of survival. He probably wants to die. He probably wants to die. But you don't. For the Empire. But you don't. I certainly don't. The guard agreed. Let's go to Telgi. So let's go to the interrogation room. Get him to stop cracking the whip. Alan suggested. You can kill a person by whipping. By whipping them, you know. Nasty whip of the right size and material could strip the flesh right off the bones. Cat o' nine tails. Something with some cat claw barbs on it. Indeed. The guard agreed. Indeed. The guard agreed. There's a lot of people singing and saying poems in the Lord of the Rings so far. To me, that stuff is, I don't know, unnecessary. But, you know, who am I to decide what's necessary or unnecessary? Maybe that stuff is considered, maybe the writer considered that stuff essential world building. I don't know. The most songs I would include in a story, maybe the anthem of a fictional country. I don't know. I'm not a songwriter. I mean, I think I could whip up something if someone put a gun to my head, but I wouldn't be able to set it to music or anything. I don't know music. It's been 20 years since I've taken a music-related class in any fashion. Well, I guess there was that course in college, but that was about music as an art form. It wasn't about the practical stuff, like what does this note mean, or what does this line, what do the stanzas mean, and all that stuff. God agreed. I never saw Cat o' Nine Tails, but we have some nasty stuff down here. And you just stood by and watched it all happen. All this atrocities take place. Ireland thought. Put that up there. I think that sounds better. Clear who's talking, I guess. I'm not sure the rules. I'm probably breaking the rules, but, you know, what they say, you make rules to be broken, right? We must hurry, or he strips her to the bone, the guard said, and motioned for Ireland to walk ahead of him. Hurry. Yes, right. I agreed. Ireland imagined this was the first time some Jade was in a hurry. Meanwhile, lone guard. How many heroes have been saved in fiction by the stupidity of a lone guard? Usually it's the stupidity of the main bad guy, really. Not killing the hero when they have the chance. It was the first time some Jada was in a hurry to prevent someone. Prevent. him from being tortured. Arlen might have liked to see how the guard, part of Arlen wanted to see how the guard would confront Faye Toon. Let me put the name here, damn it. Faye Toon. No, I spelled that wrong. Toon. I'll check Toon later, as in cartoon. How the guard would confront Faye Toon. If the two men would end up killing each other, leaving Arlen and Telga to lick each other's wounds and get out of there. But Arlen, when the guard had reached the whipping chamber, Arlen turned around when Arlen and the guard Arlen turned around and gave the man a vicious thrashing, knocking him unconscious and throwing him to the ground with a flurry of punches. Furries. I don't think of furries in this universe. Are furries the one people that are still politically correct to insult and have disdain for online? I don't know. Probably not. Probably. Everything offends everybody. And I'm sure furries would be offended if you offended them. Or tried to insult them, you know. Everything offends everyone, so you can't tell any jokes. Boy, it's a rough time to be a comedian, I can imagine. How do you tell jokes without offending anybody? I think the answer is you can't. It's like, how do you scuba dive without getting wet or going into the water? You can't, so either take up something else or say screw you to the constantly offended people. A lot of constantly offended people have no money and won't support you anyway, even if you did do everything they wanted you to do. That's the funny thing about it. It's like people who are always on politically correct rants, they don't have any money to spend on the things they go after, so, you know. I thought they said money talks. You pay attention to the people who have the money. Where did this new crazy rule come from that you pay attention to people who don't have any money, who don't support you, who just want to tear you down? I don't get it. It's strange, isn't it, folks? It's a strange world. I got this flurry of punches. The man was still conscious, was still alive on the floor, moaning like somebody having a bad dream. Should Arlen murder this unconscious man? Arlen took up the man's SMG, aimed it briefly at him. He decided not to kill him. He had a feeling the man was doomed either way, no matter what he did. He'd probably be executed for failing to defend this place. Arlen heard a lot of shooting about off in the distance, but on the same floor as him, unless his nearly invisible ears were deceiving him. It's like trying to see ears on a bird, you know. Birds, you can't see the ears of a bird. It's like, but you know, birds would look weird with ears, wouldn't they? No, except the owl. Like, the owl has ears, doesn't he? Big ears. Everyone thinks the owl is a wise bird because of how he looks. He's a dumb mother lover. Really. He's no smart. He's not nearly as smart as he looks. Now a parrot's a goofy creature. He's 10 times smarter than any owl. I'm sure an owl could kill a parrot easily. But, you know, that's just, you know. That goes without saying, probably, because owls are pretty fierce creatures. If we could train them to attack people, they would be, like, the ultimate deterrent, I think, to crime. Like, you know, I'm sure being scratched up by an owl's talons would be just as bad as getting bit by a dog, like a big German Shepherd police dog trained in Hungary. I'm not sure why they're trained in Hungary. For some reason there are a lot of dog schools there. I'm glad Hungary is doing something to stay relevant, though. And nobody's thought of them much since the end of World War I, I guess. In World War II, they were just one of many Eastern European countries that ended up humiliated by 3 different sides of a war. You know, the Germans, the Russians, the Allies. Looks like it's almost... Let's see, yeah. They're all shooting up from a distance on the same floor as him. There were friendlies coming. He's coming to him. I don't suppose if that guard... I suppose he might have been... Ireland would have been... Or friendlies coming to him. Ireland planned on meeting him. Soon as he got Telga free, Ireland stepped into the room. Whipping room. Which was nearly as large as the ball buster room. The ball buster. Is that 1 word or 2? Even though it really didn't need the space. In history, most whippings were done in the open air in front of large groups of people to deter them from doing the same thing the victim was being whipped for. Usually the person was whipped about the backside and the buttocks. The buttocks in particular. Ireland had been whipped before, quite fiercely, while strapped down. He had been whipped about the front that time, which was quite unpleasant. Seeing Telga being whipped brought back a lot of nasty memories. Never been whipped or kissed. Okay, folks, signing off here. Have a nice day.